Hello and welcome everyone, a new episode of Money Means Business. Today, the core of our episode is going to be totally dedicated to agriculture and the state's effort to boost this very, let's say, dynamic part or segment of our economy. Well, securing our food, the food security is one of the national security issues, and it's one of the top priorities in front of the political leadership. We are going first to have a quick look at those efforts exerted on the ground, and then we are going to turn back with our dear guest live here in the studio, as we do have a lot to speak about and a lot of questions to be answered. Right after this, I'm going to be back with more, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Today, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and Minister of Higher Education Dr. Ayman Ashur to discuss a number of issues particularly related to the development of the higher education system. And part and parcel of the whole issue is the research centers and how to give the research centers all facilities to achieve what we call competitiveness and to cross this gap between theory and practice. No more thesis, no more ink on paper. We want to implement or to apply the research results on the ground. And this is going to be the start or the entrance of our discussion today with my dear guest live here in the studio, Dr. Ahmed Al-Qott, Associate Professor in the Agricultural Research Center. Thank you very much for being with us, sir.
Thank you, Nerveen. Thank you.
And let's start immediately with what I've said. Tell me, sir, more before going into the details on the ground about the importance of achieving this goal, crossing this gap, or to eliminate this gap between theory and practice via the research centers and boosting the activities of the research centers in all domains, and here particularly in agriculture.
First of all, thank you very much for calling us for the interview tonight. Indeed, we need to make our graduate student qualified for the market. I will speak about this in terms of agriculture, like under the Ministry of Agriculture and Land Reclamation, and through the two main centers, Agricultural Research Center and the Desert Research Center, we provide extensive training for agriculture graduates to equip them what really market need. This may be in dairy, maybe for manufacturing product, maybe for horticulture production, strategic crop production, animal production, fisheries, and other sectors in agriculture. We provide a stable training at ERC in summer training, and we give also, like for graduate students in the last year in Bachelor of Agriculture, also extensive summer training to equip these guys really to know what market need. And I think same, it happened also with many research centers like National Research Center. It also provides a lot of training to graduate students. And I think same also in medical section, but Egypt now really attract a lot of even foreign students, like in terms of agriculture. We receive a lot of student foreigners from African countries. Then we give them a lot of training about marketing, agriculture production, and other sectors. And it's normally happened in Ministry of Agriculture. We have a very strong really work in this. We have thousands of graduated people received a strong training from Agricultural Research Center, and I think a student really or graduate student should change the mind, because what we study in the university, it's just a basic study, but when it comes to ground the market, it really faces something different. Then I think now we see intelligent technology like artificial technology, bioinformatics, absolutely English and other. Then a student really should really have a good training to be able to get a right position, a right job.
You mentioned two important things here, sir, regarding the Africans, I mean our African allies who came here to benefit from our experience or with our expertise in the field of agriculture. And this means that this kind of exchanging knowledge, it's really important. And there are already projects implemented on the ground as a result of what you've just said. And regarding the fresh graduates of faculties or colleges of agriculture. But I should here also mention the farmers. I want to know more about the positive role played by the research centers to benefit the farmer, the very simple one.
Okay. In very simple way, what research center need, we need to transfer the technology which is done at ERC or Desert Research Center or National Research Center to the farmer's field. And this actually, it takes, you know, a big, what can I say, it's a very important really to researchers to transfer this technology and to convey farmer to follow the technology. Let me give you an example. When we started technology transfer component for the strategic crop, for example, I give you one example about wheat. Normally, people in Egypt grow wheat and broadcast, then just throw the seeds in the field, then cut it in rows and just irrigate the field. But with our innovation and deep research, we found a new method technologies like raised bed technology, in which we can grow wheat in rows in one bed. Like the production is higher, and the plant health is better. Then we try to convey farmer to adapt this kind of technology in different government rates. Then we start like farmer meeting. We make farmer days, field days. We make farmer field schools. Sit with 25 farmers.
Farmer field schools.
Yes.
This is very nice, and we are going to go through this and in detail when we talk more about the efforts exerted by the state to boost or to increase the efficiency of these strategic crops, and of course on top of the list is wheat. But let me, if you permit me, simplify more what the terms we are all hearing, because we are not experts.
Yes.
We all heard about the expansion of our agricultural land, whether it's vertical or horizontal.
Okay.
If you can just give us some very simple definitions regarding those two terms, and which way we are going to go deeper. I mean, it's only first steps in a very long journey.
Okay. See, as all of us know, in Egypt, the main agriculture was just besides the Nile, which we call the Nile Delta, as you know. But with increasing of Egyptian population, which reached 105 million now, and we receive around 10 million guests also in Egypt. That means, you talk about the country have 115 million living together. It was really important to expand agriculture vertically in your reclaimed land. And in this concern, if we look at last 8 years in Egypt, Egypt has a clear vision, agriculture vision 2030. And we, through the vision, we increased the cultivated area to 9.8 million faddan.
Okay.
And this 9.8 million faddan, that means one season. And if we done crop intensification, that means around 17 million faddan. Then, regarding to vertical expansion in agriculture in new reclaimed land, Egypt has set a clear plan to increase the area in different rural area, even in Upper Egypt, Sinai, Middle Sinai, South Sinai, and other area like Farafra, Istiwainat, Tushka, and others. Then we got 5 mega projects, as you know, in Egypt. The first mega project we have, it's called the 1.5 million faddan project. It's implemented in 8 governorate. Second project, it's East Lawainat project, which is near to the south of Al Kharga Oasis. This is around 560,000 faddan. Then the third one, which is called the Tushka Al Khair, it's 540,000 faddan. And we have the mega project, which our president, His Honorable Fattah al-Sisi, supported really too much this project. We called it New Delta, or Mustaqbal, Egypt Future, or Mustaqbal Misr. It's 2.2 million faddan. We already done around quarter of this now, already cultivated now. And we got a very good project also in Middle Sinai, which is around 620 faddan. Okay. Then this 5 mega project increased really our area till date, around 2.3 million faddan. That means you added around 4 new governorate. And we have seen last year when President Sisi opened the harvest of wheat crop in Shara Lawainat, it was 186,000 faddan, which increased this year to around 200,000 faddan of wheat only in Lawainat. And we have a vision also to increase this cultivated area in Lawainat and the Tushka, but we have to also rationalize the water use efficiency in this area. This is very simple about vertical expansion. That means we increase the cultivated area vertically.
Okay. Horizontally?
Horizontally, that means if we get one crop which yield 1, how it can yield 2.
Okay.
Then how this happened? See, we see for the strategic crop, for example, on wheat, like for example wheat, the one we make a bread, macaroni, and all this stuff. 30 years ago, wheat productivity in Egypt was around 5 RW per faddan.
Okay.
But now in Egypt, we reached 30 RW per faddan.
From 5 to 30?
Yes, it takes us around Yes, it takes us 25 years of hard work because the cultivar you receive in your field, it takes us 11 years of work. Then we improved horizontal expansion here need to improve the productivity of each and individual crop through breeding program, maybe genetics, maybe agronomic practices, maybe combination.
Meaning that those projects are based on scientific research and scientific rules.
Yes, absolutely.
And in each, because those projects are scattered all over Egypt,
Yes.
so the crops which are cultivated in each, it's suitable for the soil,
Yes,
suitable for the climate,
yes,
and suitable, of course, for the area. I mean,
Yes.
Sugar cane, for example, then it's Upper Egypt. Cotton, it's in Delta.
Yes.
Stuff like that. True?
yes, true.
Great. But when we talk about that, it's very important also, since you mentioned water, irrigation, most recent technologies in irrigation system, we should tackle also here climate change.
Yes.
Because climate change, unfortunately, it's really having its very negative impacts on the whole world, and Egypt is part of this world. How we can treat that, or how we dealt with that?
Yeah, see, climate change and food ecosystem, the most, see, agriculture is the most fragile sector to climate change. It's clear over all the world. We can notice the severe drought happened in Europe last year. We see a lot of problem about heat in Asia and even happening in Africa. See, the climate change impact in Egypt and over all the world mean in three major problems. Heat waves, drought, salinity, and absolutely less water.
Okay. Scarcity of water.
Yes, scarcity of water. Then this also take us to how to change your research behavior
Yeah.
to produce new cultivar resilience to those climate problem or abiotic stress problem. Then Egypt, through Agricultural Research Center, we set a strong research plan to produce new resilience crops, which can, we can cope with this climate change. For example, I will give you one example about wheat. With the vertical expansion, it's all coming together. It's all just coming together. For vertical expansion in agriculture, you will face two problems. Maybe salinity in some area, maybe heat, little bit in Upper Egypt, maybe drought.
Yeah.
Then we set our research program now to release new strategic crop varieties like wheat varieties, maize varieties, soybean varieties, and others, which can really cope with this kind of problem. For example, I'll give you 2-3 examples on wheat. For example, wheat now, we have salinity tolerant wheat, which is Mr. 4. We have a smart wheat crop, which is called SITS 15, which is heat tolerant. And we set a nice really breeding program coupled with new technologies also, like using bioinformatics tools, genomics tools, genomic analysis, genetics, and others to also release or produce new cultivar which can cope with that climate change. And climate change, it will not stop. I mean, you see the severity of the climate change. And even to maintain 1.0 degree now in the world, it became a dilemma. And gas emission from greenhouse. And also to cope with climate change, you see Egypt has set a program which called 100,000 faddan of greenhouse, which ensure production of 1.5 million tons of fresh vegetable to ensure food security in Egypt. Then the climate change itself need a lot of effort coming all together from all the world. That's why Egypt has set that what we called it Food and Agriculture for Sustainable Transformative Initiative with food.
Sustainability. The word sustainability is a key word here.
Yes.
And you mentioned something also, sir, I'd like to ask about, and in more details if you permit me.
Yes.
You mentioned soya beans. What I know about soya beans, that it's not suitable at all for our soil, and we cannot cultivate soya.
Who said?
I heard that. Would you please correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes, I can
Are
correct.
we able to cultivate soya beans so we can someday guarantee that we are going to be self-sufficient of soya oil?
I will comment in two ways.
Yeah.
Soybean is a summer crop, right?
Okay.
It has a lot of competition with maize in summer because mainly we need around 3 million faddan of maize. And I hope we convert this 3 million to yellow maize, then we can stop importing, maize from outside Egypt and save our foreign currency. But for soybean, in the last 3 years, we had a strong, we have a lot of old varieties for soybean in Egypt, which cultivated. If you travel to Bani Suef, Minya, and other
very small areas.
Now we are going
They
to
were
reach,
very small areas. But now do we have this expansion in soybeans?
Yes, we have now. We are going to reach 250,000 faddan, I think, this year, and it's going to be increased to 350,000 faddan next year. We released a new variety. If you follow the registration from the Agriculture Committee, you will see the new 2-3 varieties from soybean. And I was in Minya like 2-3 months in summertime. I was in Minya, and we got a new soybean cultivars which produce around 1.5 ton per faddan.
This was my coming question. What about the high productivity?
Productivity is very good. We got normal cultivars get 1.2, 1.3, but even now with applying the good agronomic practices, we reached 1.5 million.
Then with applying new practices, with cultivating more lands, but before, unfortunately, we were not able to do so. So what you're telling me right now is the fruitful result of implementing the fruitful or the very positive results of research on the ground.
Yes, because it was the problem with soybean and other like sunflower. Farmers themselves like to grow maize. Because most of the farmers they will be having animal production and their home. Then they want to maintain
the
livestock.
And
even livestock, and always even people in Upper Egypt mix some maize flour with wheat flour, and we export a lot of oil, food oil. Then the government really last year I think we exported around 2.7 billion US dollar of soybean, which is very huge
This
number.
is it, and because of this I'm asking, and particularly after the Ukrainian-Russian struggle,
conflict,
which unfortunately resulted had its very negative impact on food security in the whole world in general. And with the fail of the Black Sea deal, and with now
it increased the prices.
On the 24th of February, it's going to be 2 years.
Yeah, and it changes the prices of the strategic crop like soybean, like yellow maize, like wheat, and you can see now the price is going very high in the last 2 years. But Egypt also set a nice plan to change the country in which we can import. But the most beautiful, the plan which made by Minister of Agriculture and Land Reclamation with the support of our President, Prime Minister, we should grow our soybean. We should increase our maize area. We should increase our wheat cultivated area to reach maybe 4 million faddan within 2-3 years. This is what Egypt really done. And in same way, in synchronized way, we also simultaneously we increased the certified seed production for this strategic crop. This year in winter season, Agricultural Research Center through the Central Administration of Seed Production, we ensure 100% cover of certified seed of all winter crop, which never happened before. That means our research institute align with the vision of Egypt 2030 nicely, achieve what coming plan, but you cannot jump from 200,000 faddan to 1 million faddan in 1 year. I know it takes time, but we will get the fruit when we reach self-sufficient of this kind of a strategic crop, which is really easy to do. I mean, maize, it's very easy to grow 3 million faddan. For soybean also, it's not difficult. But I know for wheat, we should just reduce the amount of imported wheat to reduce the bill of $4 billion US dollar, a little bit to 3 or something around. And this will by way, anyway, or other, it will save also the extensive use of foreign currency,
Amen to that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take it from Dr. Ahmed when he spoke about certified seeds. What's certified seeds? I, as an owner, or I do have 10 faddans, for example, and And in the harvest season, I would just keep aside some of a big portion of the seeds just to cultivate the coming season. No, this is not the case anymore.
Yes.
Now the case is totally different. I should have certified seeds which are that suitable for the soil, which can
Climate,
resist
pest, disease.
Okay, you name it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, certified seed itself
Yeah.
can increase the yield by 30%.
Okay.
And
30%.
yes, I am sure. Take it from me, 30%. The main problem using all the seed, it's not certified. It might have some insect, some disease. You grow it, yield will have a reduction. But now, ensuring a certified seed in all farmer field itself, without any effort, it will increase the yield 25 to 30%. Even with applying the best agronomic practice, which come from our researcher. And we teach this agronomic practice to farmer in the field. We make a school in the field, 25, 30 farmer in one school. We teach them weekly. Researcher will come, sit with them. Everyone will raise his issue, his problems. Then we discuss what is the solution. We write in a book, please apply this, please do that. And this is really important. And you are most welcome to see when we see the farmer got like 31, 32 ardab of wheat.
And this is applied to other
that
crops,
means
of course.
4.5 tons per faddan. And we make a big festival to them and award them with certificate.
Yeah.
Because really they follow the rules, the guides by the researcher, and it's all for Egypt. You know, the farmer got like 20 ardab per faddan. The second one got 30. That means it's just 50% increase.
And it's a win-win situation.
Yes.
For all.
Yes.
And it's not only implemented or applied on wheat, it's on all crops.
Yes.
True?
And increasing the average in this strategic crop, 1 or 2 ardab per faddan, that means you increase the area around 20% without cultivation.
And
Simple.
this is also, I want to repeat that it's not only on wheat. It's on other crops. And we can have an example with the last visit of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Medbouli to
Yes.
Aswan or to Komombo in specific. And he visited some places or some areas which are very much famous for sugar cane.
Yes.
How we can also guarantee that this is going to be another story of success.
This is one of the most beautiful success story happened the last 2 years in Egypt. You know, normally people in Egypt and Upper Egypt, you know, in Aswan, Luxor, just 360,000 faddan of sugar cane we grow, not more than 400,000 faddan. And the older technology takes, you know, around, the plant will take like a year, and they take a lot of water. Then we think in Agricultural Research Center to make an innovation technology in which we can transplant sugarcane.
Yeah.
Then His Excellency Prime Minister visited Komombo sugarcane transplant station. And this transplant station gave us very nice story. We got the vegetative cuts from sugarcane, treat it with fungicide, pesticide, and then grow it in pots for 2 months, then take it to the field as a transplant with age of 2 months. What does it mean?
Age of 2 months?
Yes.
2 months instead of a year?
No, not like this. The transplant itself,
Yeah.
it will be 2 months old, the transplant.
Yeah, I know. But with this, how much time we can spare?
You spare 2 months in the field.
Okay.
First of all. Second, you save 2 or 3 irrigation of water.
Okay.
That means you save 25% of water. And the main issue is the productivity.
Yeah.
It reached 70 tons per faddan.
Okay.
In normal method, people getting 35, 40, 45. But with this method, people getting 60, 70 tons per faddan. It means double of the yield. And this is really very good innovative technology. We have a very big 2 station. I was lucky to visit both in Komombo and Wadi Saida. And the government of Egypt really invested a lot of money to build this 2 station and support the farmer in Upper Egypt. And it's, you know, it's very simple because it's contractual agriculture. Then farmer will grow the sugar cane, then the factories will buy the product straight away from them. I mean, it's a really good technology. See, in Egypt, our main issues now, how to save water. And this kind of project really help us to save water. For example, in strategic crop now, I mean, overall Egypt, we try now to apply drip irrigation technology, sprinkler irrigation technology. It's changing the behavior of farmer of fertilization, make new fertilizer map, make fertigation plan.
Fertilizers map, this is very important, and because this was a very big worry of the Egyptian farmer. But now I think the case is a little bit different when it comes to that, because now every farmer has his notebook, if I may call it this
leaflet.
way, or leaflet, and he had the dates when he is going to receive his portion, if I may call it this way, and when it's going to be implemented. And all the time there is this kind of contact between him and the research centers and the Ministry of Agriculture to make sure that what he is doing is the right, that he is on the right path. If you want to elaborate on that too.
Yes, see, the government of Egypt through the Minister of Agriculture and Land Reclamation already issued the smart farmer card.
Okay.
Then farmer card, this farmer, the smart farmer card, the farmer will go to the Agriculture Association, he will receive his fertilizer. But now, what is our really plan in this one? Egypt have different agroclimatic zone, and the soil in Mansoura, it's not like soil in Dakhaliya, not in soil. Now we are trying to make a new soil map, a new fertilization map, to make it very efficient way of fertilization. Like if someone have soil problem with salinity, it might be not suitable to him to use certain amount of fertilizer which used on normal land. Or in salinity soil problem, we need to add more fertilizer, micronutrient, macronutrient, with different amount, with different concentration to cope with such a problem. Then we have a very good plan in Agriculture Research Center to change the fertilizer map, to change the fertilization method. Now drip irrigation technology become very strongly even in Upper Egypt, in your reclaimed land. Pivot system, absolutely. In all what I said about the new project, it's all pivot system. And now in all the land in Minya, in Qina, in Asyut, people start to use drip irrigation with fertigation. Even the behavior of fertilization even it changed, because people normally throw the fertilizer in the field, leave it evening and then irrigate, and they commit a lot of mistake. But now, even with drip irrigation, the fertigation method is really nice, because we give the inputs of the fertilizer in the injection, it goes straight away to the plant, then no lose, and the efficient of fertilization
and all made in Egypt.
We try, I mean, we cannot convert Egypt from flooding irrigation to drip irrigation in one day.
No, I mean fertilizers, all made in Egypt.
Yes. We have self-sufficient. We never.
And regarding our phosphate, we do not export our phosphate anymore, or the raw materials. We localize the fertilizers industry, and we do have from Al Nasri Chemical, chemical company, many mega projects scattered all over Egypt. Last but not least, it was in Al Ain Al Sukhna, and it was inaugurated by the president. Many phases. The last phase included 6 factories, and it's not only about self-sufficiency, it's about also exporting. So
yes, absolutely. Egypt has a big hand and a very big name in the market in terms of fertilization. We have very self-sufficient of urea product, or nitrogen product, and phosphorus. We export to many Arabian, African countries.
And African.
Yes.
And I want to, if you permit me, focus more on our cooperation with our African allies in the fields of agriculture, because, and particularly the Nile Basin countries. What you can tell me about? Ministry
of Agriculture and Land Reclamation, long time back, already set what we call adventure farms in Africa. The director of this farm is my very close friend, Dr. Mar Al-Maghrabi. You can invite him one day. He talk more about this, but we have more than 11 farms in Africa. Is spread in many countries like Zambia, like Tanzania, like Sudan, and others. And in this farm, we send our researchers from different sectors: horticulture, cereal crops, and other animal production sector also. And we have our own farm there. We make it a model farm to teach our, let me say, our African brothers how to do the best agronomic practices to increase their yield. And by the way, Now Egypt also, because it has a strong name of really agriculture sector now. In this year, we exported our certified seed from rice, from wheat, from maize to African country and some Arabian countries.
Yeah.
I noticed, I was there at couples of meetings.
Can you mention some of the African countries which received from us
Yeah.
or which imported from us our certified seeds?
Senegal, one of our, this country, Senegal was one of the country, and we send also to Oman, to Emirat. Yeah.
Point of order. Egypt is not against the development of any country, and particularly our African allies. We are all the time working for their development, progress in all fields, whether it's agriculture, industry, even maritime industry. When we talk even about the security cooperation, it's all there. Julius Nyerere in Tanzania, such a dam which is built by Egyptian hands. So, for all those who would claim that Egypt is not all the time there for its African allies to support him in every domain, this is the answer. Yes. Simply, this is the answer. So, to whom it may concern, Egypt is going to remain on top of the agenda when it comes to giving a hand to our African brothers, allies, as Dr. Ahmed said.
Yes, very beautiful relation between Egypt and Africa. We continuously support Africa through all the history, and just simple people come to our ERC and see how many Africans there receive training. We give advice through the Adventure Farm. A lot of achievement really. Egypt will remain Egypt, is the leader. No worries.
Well, it's time to say that this is one of the direct messages we have to the whole world, and in particular to some, no, not to some, to one African country who would deny all this, but they cannot deny it anymore because we do have projects on the ground already taking place. Yes. Well, sir, let's return back to Egypt, to our beloved country, and to end with the silos. Because the silos, it's a very important project, and I think it's going to be such an added value to our agricultural sector.
It's really one of the amazing projects Egypt started a couple of years back. Now we have a capacity around 3.5 million to 4 million tons of silos in different governorate. I think I was part of the EU new grant to Egypt. It was $100 million grant. I was honored to work from the Agricultural Research Center in this one, and 60 million of this money is going again for silos. I think we might reach in very few, I mean 1 or 2 years, we might reach around 5.5 million tons capacity of storing seeds in silos. Silos, you know, normal shona, as we called it, it can really get, rains, insect, and other, the loss is after harvest, what we called it post-harvest loss. Yeah. It was really, sometimes it reached 20-30%, which is huge. Now, with silos, you maintain the humidity, no insect, no disease, you maintain the temperature, humidity in the grain, and it really, now even Egypt now, in collaboration with EU, we are doing what we call the smart track point. Then we can track the seed when it arrives to the port till it reaches the people at home. I think silos is a good project. As we increase, we will save good grains, and but I just won't say, the quality of Egyptian grains even is the best ever. Yeah. Like when you talk about wheat grains, is the best.
We are going to turn back to be the basket of seeds, or as we call it in Arabic, سلة الغلال, not only for the Middle East, but inshallah to the whole world. Yes. And we hope that this is going to take place that soon. Sir, I really enjoyed our discussion, and we are going to leave you with a promise to see you again in more episodes of our program.
Thank you, Nermin. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We were very much delighted and honored to have with us Dr. Ahmed Al-Qut, Associate Professor in the Agricultural Research Center. And 2 words, innovation, sustainability, the key words. And this is exactly what's taking place on the ground. We are not talking about dreams. We are talking about a process going on. Egypt is going forward to the new Republic, Egypt 2030, and it's going to be faster than you can ever imagine. Well, We are going to leave you now with some of the most important events which took place in the past 7 years, particularly in the agricultural and economic arena in general, and with a promise to see you again same time on Nile TV International. With all my love, this was Dermina Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching.